Late in the day, money was moved that was never supposed to move. Not profits, not firm capital. Client funds, legally segregated, were used to cover internal obligations. No alarms sounded, no screens went dark. After that action, the system could no longer exist in its original form, even though it kept operating. This collapse wasn't caused by market losses. It collapsed because client money was treated as available liquidity. MF Global relied on a single rule that made the entire structure viable. Customer funds were segregated and untouchable. That rule wasn't a safeguard layered on top of the business. It was the business. The moment those funds were accessed, the firm stopped functioning as a broker in principle. Everything that followed was not failure unfolding. It was failure being revealed. Authority replaced control. MF Global was led by Jon Corzine, a former U.S. Senator, former governor, and former Goldman Sachs CEO. His credibility acted as friction removal. Internal hesitation weakened because leadership felt unquestionable. People assumed the rule was intact because someone with that background wouldn't cross it. That belief substituted for verification. When authority becomes reassurance, controls stop being enforced, quietly and without resistance. Pressure came from margin calls. MF Global held large positions in European sovereign debt, framed as short-term and controlled. But these positions required constant collateral. Each market move triggered immediate cash demands. Margin calls don't wait for explanations or intentions. They ask one thing: cash now. At that point, the system wasn't testing strategy. It was testing whether boundaries still existed under stress. The boundary failed. Instead of unwinding positions, funds were pulled from segregated client accounts to meet firm obligations. The transfer was treated as temporary. We'll put it back. That justification matters because it reveals the moment of irreversibility. At that moment, segregation no longer existed, even if the firm kept operating. Once client money becomes liquidity, the structure is already broken. Nothing collapsed immediately. Operations continued, trades cleared, offices opened as usual. Inside the firm, people believed the breach would be corrected before it mattered. This is the illusion that kills systems. When violations appear manageable, nobody stops the machine. But liquidity taken under stress doesn't return cleanly, it only delays recognition. The system looks normal precisely because it is already beyond repair. Trust dissolved quickly once exposed. Counterparties stepped back. Regulators intervened. MF Global entered bankruptcy. More than $1.6 billion in client funds were missing. Customers learned that segregation is not a promise, it is a condition. Once accessed, it stops protecting anything. The firm didn't fail because markets moved against it. It failed because the final barrier was treated as optional. Investigations confirmed the core fact. Client funds were used to support the firm's own positions. There was no complex fraud architecture, no hidden network, just a single rule violated under pressure. Jon Corzine was never criminally convicted. MF Global ceased to exist. Clients absorbed the loss, and the lesson remained uncomfortable. Regulation cannot save a system after internal discipline collapses. This wasn't just MF Global. This is how mixed client funds destroy institutions. Use this filter. If client money can be accessed during stress, stop. If segregation relies on trust instead of hard separation, stop. If survival requires crossing a forbidden boundary, stop. The most dangerous moment isn't panic. It's when the system still looks normal. If you want to understand how systems really fail, subscribe. More investigations coming.